Everybody, I want to talk to you today about my story. My name's David Beers, and I'm the owner and creator of 39 Minute Workout, and I wanted to share my story with you so you can get to know us a little bit, how this came into existence, this 39 Minute Workout, what we're doing here, and hopefully create a little snapshot for you to have an eye into the classes. And you'll see in some of the other videos some of our great clients, a class in motion that you'll get to see. And hopefully you leave with a feeling of connecting with us and feeling like you know us a little bit to where you'd want to come visit, because we want you to come visit. I was like every other kid back in the late 70s, early 80s. I was a fit kid because we played outside. We owned an Atari, I think, and we owned a Nintendo, but we didn't play all day on these things. We played outside. You know, if you've ever read the book The Last Child in the Woods, it's a lot like that. It's like we were outside from, dusk to dawn. Is that the right way? Or dawn to dusk? I never get that right. And it was the whole, your parents having to call you back in to have dinner and you're not wanting to come and you're filthy, dirty, and loving it. And I climbed everything. I climbed trees. I climbed the garage behind my house in Towson. We climbed bigger stuff when I got older. I climbed a jewelry store. Sorry, Mom. That was embarrassing. That was not a smart choice. But we just played, We made up games. I remember my friend DJ, we would hang out at his house and we'd play kickball, and then we'd grab the lacrosse sticks and go into the backyard, and we'd go to the front yard and play tag, and then it was to Steve's backyard to play soccer, and it was, that's what we did. So we were fit, and yeah, we had video games, but that wasn't it. That wasn't what we lived for. And I went to college. We went to the University of Maryland. And I remember a little dungeon of a gym that I chose. Instead of the nicer one, we worked out in the little dungeon because it was just people taking weightlifting seriously, and they weren't posing in a mirror, and being all silly. We were just former athletes. I was a high school wrestler, and I lifted because I loved it, my body liked it, I enjoyed it, and if I had to just study, I'd go crazy. So I put on my freshman 15, but it was with muscle. I put on size, and I was very fit in my college years. And that was all well and good until I moved to Georgia. And don't know what you know about Southern cooking, but some of you probably know some. But if you want to stay fit, don't move to Georgia. That may not be true. But my experience was cheese grits and water was better tasted with a pound of high C and dye in it. I drank a mess of coffee to stay awake because I worked at a wilderness camp with incarcerated kids, and we had crazy long hours, and we built our own shelters and, lived under the moods of these, very troubled teens from Atlanta and from the woods in Georgia. That was when I really started to get, I would say, unhealthy. I ate junk. I had bad hours. I was up to the food that they provided me, and I didn't work out. I lifted every once in a while, but I didn't work out anymore. And even though we were doing labor, it started to catch up on me. So I solved that little problem, because from that day on, a lot like Forrest Gump, I went walking. Okay, actually 10 years ago, 1 month ago, I started at the southern terminus of the Appalachian Trail in Georgia with my backpack, and I took off walking with about 2,000 other people. And for 6 months in the year of 2001, we hiked. I hiked, 15 to 23 miles a day on average. And, most of the people quit the Appalachian Trail the first month, and it thins out, and then there's just this powerful community of people left. And I was one of them, and I stuck it out, and I hiked the whole thing, and it was 2,100 miles all the way up from Georgia to good way up Maine. And there's no way to summarize such an experience. It was by far the most amazing thing I've ever done in my life, short of being there with my son Max being born. It was phenomenal. There was a spirit in people's eyes who made it through month 3, 4, 5, 6. There was a shimmer in their eyes that I remember seeing in people. And they weren't all the best athletes. But they were the people that loved the community and they were passionate about being there. And it was the adventure and the spirit and seeing America by foot in a way that you won't experience if you just drive and visit towns, and seeing the coolest stuff of humanity, of people taking care of each other and doing what we call trail magic. You know, dropping things off, food off at road stops, and putting you up in a house and driving you into a town even though you're as nasty can get. And it was an arduous task. I always thought with my job, you know, I'm gonna love my passion, my hobby is my passion in life is gonna have to come through my hobby, because I love the earth, I love taking care of myself, I love sports, but I didn't see any real job in that. So I figured, well, I'll probably just work a job and my passion will be fulfilled in my hobby somehow. And I think I was all right about that, but I felt resigned to that. It didn't feel like a good decision. And there was literally a day on the trail, I want to say it was 2/3 of the way up, somewhere maybe New York, Connecticut, Jersey, where there was a day where it just snapped into my head like, no, I want a career, and I want my career to matter, and I want it to be about health and passion and the earth and taking care of yourself in a whole different way. I wanted it to be all that had influenced me up until then, looking at nature and what really resonated with human health, and providing an answer to get through the muck of what's being sold to people in society right now. And I didn't know what that was going to be, but I remember distinctly, it wasn't a thinking, it was a knowing. And for any of you who know me, it only took a month after I was done the Appalachian Trail, and so it would have been September 30th of '01. Sometime in October, November, I had started doing acupuncture, just because my body was beat up and I was pretty sad coming off the trail. It was a culture shock coming from the woods for 6 months back to the world. It was a very strange pace. It was very strange to see people who were in tunnel vision and didn't seem to care about each other. I'd lived on my feet at the pace of the earth for so long, and it was just, it was disconcerting to me to be home. But I started acupuncture, and one fateful day my acupuncturist called me and she said, David, this is your work. This is the work for you. You need to go look at this school, Thai Sophia in Columbia, Maryland. And I did, and I went and I sat in this coffee house at the school, and I kind of watched the people, and I saw in them this glimmer in their eyes, a lot like what I saw on the Appalachian Trail. And it was just a knowing. It was like, this is my work. And so I studied that. I did my master's program for 3 years, and I've been treating for about 6 years now. And then I found kettlebells about 2-3 years ago, and I just did them as a hobby at first. They were this tool that the second I saw them, I remember seeing a guy in the Y using them, and I just thought, from my days of wrestling and climbing, I was like, that, I don't know what he's doing, I don't know what those things are, but I want that. And so I got a trainer, and I learned, and I learned, and I learned, and I will tell you what, I've never turned back. I don't have a gym membership, I never will again. I have kettlebells. And what we've created here is everything I've just said. It's the tools of the kettlebell and movement that works for humans to create the best health, the leanest, meanest body, that can transform people's figures. And you'll see cases of that with people like Diana and Allison and Jessica. You're going to hear about transformation stories of body. You're going to hear about bone density changes in my client Ellen. You're going to hear about lives being changed, quite honestly. You know, kettlebells is the tool we chose. The format we chose was group training. You know, so we've got classes here of maybe 5 to 15 people at a time. And we're looking for more members. We want more members, but there is a limit to that. We're accepting 200 members, and our community is growing every day. And when it gets to that point, it's going to be closed, because the service that I feel that we need to provide can be provided for that number. So when that number is filled, that's it. The only way in is when somebody leaves. So if you're interested, if you feel like you want to see what this community is about, I would get on the website and click on a free consult, or come on in for a week and just see what's going on and see if it's for you, because I really think you're going to love what you find. I talk about this being a tribe because to me I like that word. But a tribe is like, it's more than a community, because I'm afraid communities turn into like, what's your community? Oh, it's the place where my house is, where you drive through and we're all called, you know, Springdale. Well, whoop-de-doo. That is not community. This is people relating together and knowing each other, and it's a lot like what I saw on the Appalachian Trail. It's 66-year-old, you know, grandmothers. It's people in their late teens. It's college students. It's mothers, young mothers. It's everybody, and getting along, working towards the same goal, coming from very different skill levels. Some of them are too scared to pick up a 15-pound weight in the beginning, and some of them are serious athletes trying to get better at triathlons. But what unites us all, what the thread is we're a tribe of people that are getting along and having some kick-butt personal training in groups. We're enjoying each other's company. We're motivating each other. We're holding each other accountable, which if you failed and succeeded with your body, you know that's what it comes down to. Is everybody knows the right tasks to an extent, but will you hold to it? Will you stick it out? Will you make it a lifestyle? That's what we're doing here. We're making this a lifestyle, and we're doing it in a community where there's no better way to do it, I don't think. So, it's a neat place. It really is. It's fun to watch. It's fun to have this much passion for something, and I didn't ever know I was going to go this route, because I always thought, personal training, yeah, I like athletics, yeah, I like working out myself, but it's shallow work. And I'll tell you what, that's not what we do here. We're not Ken and Barbie dolls. We're not trying to be Ken and Barbie dolls. It's not shallow work. Yeah, there's people trying to drop weight, and there's people who want to look better in a bathing suit. And if that's you, by all means, come on in, because we can do that. And that's fun too. But we're also teaching about how to eat, how to nourish yourself, how to never say the diet word or count a calorie again, but still drop weight and look lean and mean. We're showing you the best exercises out there and how to stop wasting a ton of time, an hour and a half, 2 hours in a gym, working out 5 days a week, seeing no progress, because that's a lot of the clients who come into here. David, I work my butt off, I do this and this and this and this, and I don't see any changes. Yeah, stop doing that. Seriously, stop it. Stop wasting your time and come in and learn the solutions, because it's simple stuff and we can teach it to you. And we want you in here making the change like everybody else. If this is something that resonates with you, if this is a community that you're interested in, if the concept of using a perfect tool and saving time and working out in 39 minutes and changing your body and changing your health is for you, then this is where you need to be. And I honestly, if you're moved by this, I want you to be one of the 200, so please don't wait, okay? Nice talking with you. I hope to see you soon.
Revolution.